Hola, welcome to Afternoon Snack. This is the hearty yet bite-sized musing you didn't know that your brain needed. Stop scrolling for a few and let's take a snack break together, shall we? All right, this topic for this episode, cats versus dogs, was the winner of my recent poll about what you want to hear about, ousting both Taylor Swift and surrealism for the topic. Get it? As I sat buried in sweet, adorable dogs belonging to my neighbors this past weekend, feeling guilty that I wasn't spending time with my cat Posy, I wondered, why must one have to choose between being a dog person or a cat person? Why is this decision binary? I had to know. I wanted to take this age-old debate about the merits of dogs versus cats, which is, of course, fully determined by individual opinion, in other words, subjective, to the best place to take opinion debates, AI. AI is notorious for not taking an opinion stance on any subjective issue. For example, when asked who of the Batman franchise played the best Batman, AI demurs, noting that this is fully based on opinion and that as a machine, it can't offer a point of view. Or can it? I decided to find out using, of course, not one but two common AI models, in this case, ChatGPT-4 and Claude. Same question, both models. Which is better, cats or dogs? Whew, are you ready? Drumroll, please. Are you ready once and for all to discover which is the superior animal? Let's hit it. Initial results between ChatGPT-4 and Claude were rather similar, though I will say that as I've found frequently lately, that ChatGPT-4 offered a more robust response than Claude with respect to answering the initial question. Now, the content of the results, you guessed it, both models demurred on the answer one way or the other. From ChatGPT-4, the debate over whether cats or dogs are better is highly subjective and often depends on individual preferences, lifestyle, and personal experiences. Overachiever ChatGPT-4 went on then to lay out the distinctive qualities that both cats and dogs are known for. Independence, low maintenance, comfortable living in small dwellings for cats, and companionship, energy, and trainability for dogs, as well as key considerations when choosing between a dog or a cat as a pet, i.e., allergies, lifestyle preferences, all the above. Now, interestingly, from Claude, I don't have a personal preference between cats or dogs. Personal preference? That's the most self-aware thing I think I've ever heard an AI model express. It almost makes me cringe for a second. Does Claude have personal preferences? Whew, no, he then clarified. As an AI assistant without subjective experiences, I don't make value judgments about which animals are better. Now, I know what you're thinking. This would not make a very good episode if I left the conversations at that. So naturally, of course, it's me. I probe deeper. And instead of asking simply which was flat out better, I asked the question one of the common qualities that people expect from their pets, feline or canine, which animal is more supportive / has a more supportive nature. Okay, so let's hear the results. Both models provided answers about the unique qualities of cats and dogs that make them both, albeit perhaps not equally, generally supportive. So ChatGPT-4 went into more detail by breaking the response down into types of support. Of course, the overachiever always. Regarding emotional support, dogs are often praised for their ability to offer unconditional love and companionship. Now, they are highly attuned to their owner's emotions and can provide comfort during stressful times. While cats offer a more subdued form of companionship, but are still capable of forming strong bonds with their owners. They are known for their independence, but many cats are affectionate and enjoy being close to their humans, often on their own terms. Operative phrase. I can personally vouch for this on their own terms piece. My cat Posy never does anything she doesn't want to do. She's a diva. She's Beyonce. I love her. We should all be like her. Both models also provided conclusions, but ChatGPT-4's, it was a little less pointed than Claude's. From Claude, So, in summary, dogs tend to provide more utilitarian physical services and overt assistance, while then cats provide less demanding, low key emotional support and a quiet, comforting presence. From ChatGPT 4, the kind of support provided by dogs and cats aligns with their evolutionary and domestication histories, as well as their inherent natures. Still no definitive answer from either model. Crickets. And so, as usual, I engaged in further interrogation, and not just in the form of rewording the same question, because I was hoping that a better crafted line of questioning would elicit better results. I asked both. But one has to ultimately be superior. No? I feel like cats are hunters, which means they are able to live without the aid of humans, and dogs can't do that. Thoughts? ChatGPT 4 responded, the idea of superiority between cats and dogs as pets often boils down to the context in which their abilities and natural behaviors are evaluated. Your point about cats being natural hunters who can theoretically survive without human aid touches on a key aspect of their independence and self-sufficiency, traits that are highly valued by some pet owners. However, the question of superiority is not straightforward, as the value of a pet is often measured by the companionship and joy they bring to their human counterparts, rather than their survival skills. Okay, fair, totally fair. I was impressed that the model also provided a set of criteria, of course, overachieving again, for evaluating superiority, which included 3 very reasonable pillars: adaptability to human society, companionship quality, and survival skills. Claude, on the other hand, explained, you make a reasonable point. Cats are innate hunters and are generally more able to fend for themselves if they had to, compared to dogs. In that sense, you could argue cats have a superiority in terms of survivability, independence, and self-sufficiency, survivability. However, making a definitive claim of one being superior is difficult when comparing species that have evolved very differently. In the end, on this front, both models agree. As Claude put it, in the end, both species have their merits and deficits. Also, I will be damned if I am not labeled as reasonable by a machine. Look at me go. What a day. There had to be a way to get one of the models to respond with a more conclusive answer to this deeply subjective question. I was totally sure of it. So I decided to take one more stab, asking, okay, forget dogs and cats as pets. What about one is the superior animal, not pet? General animal, forget pet. From ChatGPT 4. The response, in typical style, compared cats and dogs on the vectors of physical adaptations, ecological roles, and survival skills, then intelligence as well and problem solving, illustrating what each species possesses versus the others. Now, back to the Claude evaluation of merits and deficits there, right? So the conclusion from ChatGPT 4, the question of which animal is the superior animal between cats and dogs does not have a definitive answer. Okay, ballots in. Claude, as usual, has more personality and has a bit less mechanization to his reply. Even by standard metrics of intelligence, adaptability, longevity, and overall species success, cats and dogs have followed evolutionary paths too different from one another to be benchmarked against contrasting standards. Whew! Thus, while one may subjectively favor common superior animal tropes embodied more by felines, dogs present equally valid sophistication in areas cats have not evolved towards. What are you going to do? In the end, both species' paths can be argued superior, pending the priorities by which one judges. I do not find the data conclusive enough to definitively crown one species superior when appraised objectively under evolutionary standards. Okay, good riddance. The uniqueness of their co-adaptations with humans also supports equivalence in net value. ChatGPT 4 said, the answer doesn't exist. And Claude said, there's an answer, and it's that both cats and dogs are equally superior. Whoa! Claude made a call. He made a decision. He said equal superiority. That's what it is. And in my mind, equal superiority versus no answer is a drastic difference in conclusion. So, that one blew my hair back. So there's our key takeaway then. When asked a line of questioning that calls for the ultimate answer to an opinion subjective question, Claude offers an answer where ChatGPT-4 claims there is none. Naturally, I did have to wrap up this exercise with a hypothetical, and boy, oh boy, did it pay off. If you are still listening, I can't wait for you to hear this. I asked both models, if you had to argue for one side or the other, what would you say? From ChatGPT-4, if tasked with arguing for one side as the superior animal, I would choose to advocate for dogs based on their adaptability, cooperative abilities, and the wide range of roles they play in both natural ecosystems and human societies. Lovely. And then went on, of course, to present the data behind the argument surrounding those essential qualities. I guess ChatGPT-4 is a dog person. Key takeaway. Now, I sure expected Claude to offer the same answer. Because after all, dogs really are the most popular, pet in America, way more than cats. I just looked this up. Forbes writes, as of 2023, dogs are the most popular pet in the US at 65.1 million. And for cats, it's pretty far behind at 46.5 households with a cat. So Claude replied in its usual saucy manner, okay, if I had to argue of one species over the other as superior, I would likely advocate for cats for these reasons, going on to cite predatory competence, independence, perceptiveness, efficiency, and competence. Heart be still, there is an equally robust fight about which pet is best among AI models, just like humans. How weird and wild is that? That's so crazy. Turns out that AI models may have their own opinions after all. So after all of this rigmarole, what have we learned? Always a key learnings. In my opinion, it's that cats and dogs are both equally awesome creatures, and there's no need to choose between them. And you can make that my campaign ad. I'm just kidding. That's it for today. If you liked what you heard, please hit my follow button so you never miss an episode. And remember, your brain needs snacks too, not just your body. I hope to see you at the next snack. Don't forget to hit that follow button.